I have dug over what's going to be the onion patch. Going to get back to it in a minute, fork it over to break up the soil some more, rake it over to break up the soil some more, and pull out any weeds that have gotten loosened up by it. And then get my knees wet planting onions. The reason I wasn't out here yesterday is that I woke up at 9 o'clock yesterday meaning to come down and plant my onions, and it was raining. And it was still raining at sunset. So the ground is kind of sodden, and I'm sitting here with a trowel digging the mud off the bottom of my boots, which is a hopeless cause because the second I get back on the patch, the clay overshoes will return. But it's from my boot. For now, it's nice to find out what shape my feet are again. The elephant in the room, elephant in every room right now, is Brexit. The thing about Brexit is that it's a phenomenally stupid idea. We can talk philosophy of sovereignty. I still come down on the in Europe side of that, but that's a moderately valid approach. But the practical outcomes are all bad. There is no good Brexit deal. Okay, Europe doesn't want us to go, not because it loves us so very much, but because as soon as people start leaving the club falls to pieces. So they're going to make an example of us. If you leave, you get nothing. Therefore, you will stay. It's an incentive. It's a carrot and stick. We have volunteered to demonstrate the stick. The financial services, yes, they're probably going to go to Europe, because if we lose euro clearing, which we probably will because Europe doesn't want to be nice to us, then there's no really strong reason to keep doing your European business from a London base. Have you seen how much of our economy is based on financial services? It's terrifying. Manufacture has been going downhill for more than half a century. It's not going to have a miraculous revival. It's just not going to happen. We don't make stuff. We don't have stuff to sell. We have natural resources to sell. Scotland has some gas. Do I mean oil? Scotland has some fossil fuel. But, you know, the prices of that have been dropping recently. Scotland is not flush with cash. Scotland wants to stay in the EU. Ireland wants to stay in the EU. The Irish peace is a fragile thing. I'm not in any way an expert on it. I don't know a lot about it, but I know enough to know that suddenly changing the border rules is not going to help. It's a phenomenally bad idea. Kind of everyone knew that before we started. There are a couple of true believers in the Brexit camp. Nigel Farage, may he be forgotten, really is as racist and petty as his campaigning would suggest. Okay? He is. But he didn't expect to win. Boris Johnson was pulling it off as a purely political move so that he could be the great bridge builder afterwards of reuniting the Leave camp with the Remain government, and everything would be splendid for Boris Johnson. And then he won, and his face on the morning when he won told you everything you needed to know. He was terrified, and then they made him Foreign Secretary, which is still baffling to me. Everyone thought they'd win. I mean, Remain thought they'd win, and Brexit thought Remain would win. So the Brexit camp felt free to campaign really hard, and the Remain camp felt they didn't need to bother. And I really do blame them for that. There was more they could have said, there was more they should have said. They should have fought harder. They kind of acted like they didn't care. Now look where we are.